And it should dawn on everybody that Saquon was the last one in that commercial.
Thanks for hanging out with us.
The future
on
of
Tuesday
greatness.
night. The future of greatness?
I think Saquon can be
He's
great.
probably the present of greatness for many people's minds.
I've said it since his second year in college. I think that this kid could be one of the best.
All right, so what I'm going to do is, as soon as we get going here live, I'm going to take the... Did you hear that?
How'd you do
feedback?
that?
Just a little feedback on the thing. All right, so let's go and let's embed it. Let's share it. We're going to copy it. People love tuning in early to a podcast, like James Rainey, for example, and seeing that we are
working, grinding,
talking about posting things on the internet.
Work. All right.
That's right. What do you got? What do you got there, Kev?
Oh, that was our old one. We're live.
We are live.
Liven me up.
We're live, and we're going to be live on Hogs Haven. I'm just putting up the feed.
You see me, Kevin?
On Hogs Haven. All right, there it is. All right, now people can go on Hogs Haven and see our show live. Bam. And technically, we haven't started recording for iTunes yet. iTunes.
Speaking of Spaceballs,
speaking of Spaceballs,
I showed my kids the other day.
That's the first time your kids have seen Spaceballs?
They're 10 and 9.
Okay.
It's about time.
It's amazing that obviously it's a big movie. It's a big deal.
It's got some inappropriate parts.
Yeah, it does. Here's the link.
Not as many inappropriate parts as I found out or remembered Revenge of the Nerds having, which I watched yesterday.
Revenge of the Nerds is secretly...
Why bother?
Spectacular.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm going through... Go ahead.
Stop Spaceballing Revenge of the Nerds. We're losing. We're losing listeners.
No,
3
we're
people.
not.
I just got a comment that
You
said...
say Revenge of the Nerds, and automatically people just tune in.
Dun, 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 dun. All right, now we're live on Hogs Haven. We've lost 67% of our 3 listeners, but we're going to get them back. We're going to get them back.
Just got to reel them back in.
Because of my Revenge of the Nerds comment?
No.
I'm sure it was my fault.
I think it's because of the Twitter fight I just got in from Baltimore.
All right, let's do this. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us on a Tuesday night. 60-degree weather here in Kensington, Maryland. On behalf of First Amendment Sports, welcome to the Audible and our off-season coverage called Offseason on the Brink, the official Redskins podcast of Hogs Haven. He's Tim Strachan.
It's been one hell of an off-season for myself. I'll tell you that. Me and my wife and my 2 little girls got our little boy Luke home, and he's been home for a week now. It's been unbelievable, man. And he just got his first Redskins gear.
Undefeated as a Redskin fan.
A bib that says, I drool burgundy and gold.
I love it.
There you go.
He's Kevin Ricca, who he also drools for a variety of colors.
I do, but I drool over great weather as well. And I love when you wear khakis, you wear shorts, and I've got no pants. So let's have some fun, gentlemen. I'm feeling
We're going to have a No Pants Tuesday. Did not get that memo.
I did not either.
But
I never get those memos.
Work
thank
on
God.
the communication process and where it broke down this week. So, in case you haven't been paying attention, Bill Belichick has officially sucked the fun out of football for everybody.
Whoa.
Finally,
whoa.
he succeeded in his mission, at least in my
I got a
my
question
opinion.
for you then.
Okay.
Since you let it off that way, I have a question that I've been stowing away for this moment. Dynasties, good or bad for sports?
Good. I represented your good opinion, too, last week. Weren't you the one who always tells me that they're good for sports?
They are good for sports.
I don't disagree with you at all.
But why do you say he's sucking the fun out of...
He has fulfilled his lifelong quest. He didn't just randomly wake up on Sunday morning and say, you know what, I'm going to suck all the fun out of football. He's been working on it for a long time, T. And this was his...
Why do you say it
This
that
was
way?
his Sistine Chapel.
Why are you crapping on greatness then?
For a variety of reasons, we should have been mesmerized by what we saw during the game, and for most of us who understand and will love football, we were mesmerized. It is not the game that we've loved watching all season. The Sean McVay versus Tom Brady and blah 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 and offense and this and that. It was a punt fest. It was It was defense, matching defense. There's you could make the argument that it was great, and I wouldn't have a whole lot of trouble with it,
Well,
but
it was nowhere near great. I
it
mean,
was
probably
boring.
wasn't the worst ever either. But
No, but all right. How about this? The kid in school growing up, 1st through 4th grade, that gets every spelling question right. He's always doing math problems on the board. He's always correct. At some point, there's a breaking point. You're like,
Come on, man.
if I keep getting C's, D's, and a possible F here and there, like, do I need to go after that guy? But the problem is, Belichick's got 13 people defending himself from that guy, and he keeps on doing it. At some point, you have to either embrace or hate greatness. There's no in between. I've decided to remain in between.
I feel like I've retreated to the in between. I've been hating the Patriots and Tom Brady and Bill Belichick for a long time.
I don't hate because the respect.
I briefly did.
Dislike, and I don't want to go have a beer with Tom and Bill.
I
And that's
discovered
how
my
we-
respect.
That's how I judge a lot of things.
Sure.
Like, would I like to sit down and have a beer with Tom and Bill? Like, I feel like they're going to teach me how to do push-ups and non-conversational items. Like,
I don't know about
that
Tom.
sucks.
Brady
might
doesn't
want,
drink
You might
beer.
want to have a beer with Bill. I think there's a side of Bill that people don't know. And
I
over a
would
beer-
go
over
out
a
on
beer, I
this
think
boat.
I
Not
think
Tom
that
Brady.
comes out. Not Tom.
Like, dude, seriously, 9 Super Bowls and Giselle.
He's gonna
Come on, man.
try to
I can't talk to you.
like convince me of the skin cream he uses or something. I don't know.
Yeah, and he'll do it.
Sounds like no fun.
Seriously, man? Or else you're going to be parked in a boat outside the Naval Academy listening to Bill Belichick talk about lacrosse.
I would
so
do that.
have fun with that one,
Actually,
gentlemen.
I would do that.
That wouldn't be a bad.
Guess
I would
where I'm
do
going to
it.
go? Guess where I'm going to
would
go?
do that.
I'm going to go to Brazil with Tom and Giselle
No,
and
no,
just
you're
see
not.
what happens.
They
You
don't
guys
go to
have fun.
Brazil.
Have fun at the Naval Academy. I'll see you guys in Brazil.
Yeah.
They go,
You don't
like,
go to Brazil.
Giselle
She
will have
catwalked
you
the
guys
Olympics. It was a
doing
1,000-yard
your to-do
catwalk,
list the entire
and
time.
never once
I know.
did I not look.
She was nailed it.
Yeah.
But this is colonic season for Tom and Giselle, and that's just what those kinds of folks do, at this point. And I'm not into that. I don't know. Well, you can do whatever you want.
You're
in
40.
February.
It's colonic time for you, mother, huh?
It's a colonic time after my coffee, but that was at 10 o'clock this morning.
No,
I'm just saying.
no. That's not a prescribed colonic.
No. That's elective.
Yeah, right.
Man, this show's taking a real bad turn.
Yeah, when he said colonic, I knew we were all in trouble.
We're in trouble. All right, so I was a little bit down on the game. I was not as super impressed with what was going on with the
There was lack
on-field
of offense.
product.
There was very good defense played. Brady was off.
He was.
Goff was
It
off.
was weird. Goff's 24-year-old ass was going to be off.
He was way
but
off.
Brady was way too hyped up.
There was no
Yeah.
run game from the Rams at all.
What the
The
hell,
Patriots
Gurley?
got a run game going, and the
All right,
8
so
o'clock, it was.
this is all
You're
lit.
right. If you're saying he sucked fun out of football by the style in which they won the Super Bowl game specifically, I can understand that.
For non-New England fans, when I did the six-pack this week, my tweet was he's fulfilled his lifelong
it's a
quest.
part of what is going to make him
For
one of,
non-offense.
if not the best
course.
coaches of all time.
If the Skins
course.
win 11 games next year, 2-0, I will cartwheel the city of Kensington
Hell
from Monday
yes.
through Saturday, right? So, yes. But Super Bowl is different. Everything sucked. The commercials. It was one of the worst years of commercials. It was one of the worst years of halftime shows. I don't want to see Adam's Maroon 5 tank top
Yeah, it
or
was
him
bad,
shirtless.
man.
Listen, Andre,
I'm not
Big
even
Boy
like-
comes
I'm not
out.
even
You're
like-
like, all
I'm not a
right.
hater of Adam
and there was
Levine.
no. All of a sudden, it was like, I don't know. There was something about. It was like a I don't know acapella Big Boy in Atlanta.
Yeah,
Like
it was weird.
It wasn't
Travis
great.
Scott can eat a bowl of it.
It was all disjointed.
It was just, yeah, it didn't click.
It wasn't a good year, and you know how I feel about Sean McVay, and he didn't get it done either. He got out coached, and
Yeah, it was a very disappointing night for you, wasn't it?
it was because it wasn't like a
Well, just
celebration
on the
of football.
Sean McVay side of it.
Yeah, I mean I was disappointed for Sean McVay, but
Shout out to all defensive lovers of football.
yes,
Because that was exquisite.
those guys
But-
made plays.
But if the Super Bowl was
They did.
baseball and baseball showed up and it was a pitcher's duel and, it was 2 Hall of Famers and 2 hits at the game and then it just ended meekly, we'd feel the same. It
Yeah.
just there was no exciting plays throughout the course of the 4 quarters. Even defensively, there was 5 sacks, but they were kind of ho-hum. You know, the most exciting fumble was the best stiff arm ever by C.J. Anderson. But as he stiff armed, he lost the ball. For a second, I was like, something might happen.
Yeah.
It didn't. It went out of bounds.
How many times has
Oh,
the MVP
God.
not scored a touchdown?
Yeah. I thought for sure Hightower was going to his 2 sacks.
It should have
and there
gone.
been a
Oh,
defensive
God.
situation.
But that game that
I won money
Edelman
on
had
Edelman.
was
no doubt.
unbelievable.
No, he was an
It was
assassin.
unbelievable.
It was. He was sick. 140
His
yards,
numbers
10
are
catches.
ridiculous.
He was look. And listen, but then all the backlash about the more cheating and in baseball, you're not allowed to play in the postseason. This is not baseball. Stop. Let Edelman do his thing. And he was precise and he was nasty.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, I got you.
But I mean, seriously, we were all hoping for the over/under was 57. There was 16 points scored.
That was killed.
Listen, let's blame Vegas then.
Way early.
Hey, Vegas, when was the last time you were 41 points wrong?
Yep.
Like, has anyone ever remembered?
In the era of
41
points.
no.
I mean, it's not. I mean, the lowest scoring Super Bowl of all time, finally eclipsing a game the Redskins played in, the 14-7 game against the Dolphins. That's the lowest scoring Super Bowl before.
There's
This past
good
week.
Redskins news for you right there.
There you go.
We're
No
no
longer the, lowest
longer the
scoring.
worst.
Yes.
We no longer have the suckiest Super Bowl.
Or the lowest scoring.
There you go.
Garo Yepremian tried to change that as the kicker, and we couldn't figure it out.
He dominated us. So all right. So I will give it to Bill Belichick and Tom Brady. Good for them.
Have to. You have to. You
No.
have to finally, as
Can't
much
say.
as it may pain you.
No. I've been saying
Agree.
it.
Not you
Yeah.
specifically. You in general. If you are a Patriots hater, that Bill Belichick and Tom Brady are the goats.
That is the greatest combination in the it goes up against peanut butter and jelly. Chunky, by the way.
I threw it out to you guys, which no one answered, which was Belichick and Brady
did. I
or
almost did.
Auerbach Russell.
Well,
And
listen.
I go with Belichick and Brady simply because of
it.
the modern day football,
That's the part that kills me.
the complexity of the game, the athleticism of the game, the fact that nobody's going undefeated anymore in a day and age.
Russell and
of
Auerbach
football
won
like this.
more, obviously and
Back
clearly.
About
then,
11.
when they were playing basketball, there were teams that could go on dynasty runs and not lose a game. I mean it was possible. There was not a parity, I don't think, in the league then.
Hey, Kevin and
that
Darren.
the NFL has now.
How many of Russell and Auerbach's titles do you think were legitimately in doubt? Yeah.
Stop.
0, right?
Maybe all. Do you understand what Red Auerbach was doing? He was making high school kids transfer to northeastern schools that were in the region for the NBA draft where they could come and get them without having to spend a first-round draft choice. They got in a second. He was recruiting. He was the original AAU guy, Red Auerbach.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he lived right next to T's house. This guy was a wizard. He was living down by GW and Foggy Bottom with the Joe Gallaghers of the world running numbers. They originated their
Betting
form
on
of
the
hip-hop.
ponies.
Betting on the ponies, running
Ponies.
numbers. This guy was getting everyone to come up to the Northeast. So if they didn't have that specific draft choice, they got the local draft choice, which allowed them to have multiple number 2s. He fleeced everyone. He
Yeah,
was giving
sure.
boxes of Cuban cigars to guys that were barely even ability to own a business in their own hometown that were gifted NFL, NBA franchises. That was the most corrupt. What he did was amazing.
Sure. But again,
And he put himself on that pedestal. But you want to start talking about who cheated the most in Boston, New England? That's a whole different damn conversation. If you read
but I'm
10
not asking
articles
who
right
cheated
now,
the
everyone's
most.
going to come back going nuts.
I'm not
Red Auerbach.
asking who cheated the most. I'm saying
Who is the-
You said titles in doubt.
Yeah, like how many
He said
times
he-
were they
no,
actually
the original
challenged?
question is-
Kevin?
Red Auerbach made the system. It was as if there was only Belichick and
no,
no
no,
good
no,
Bell.
no.
The question
not what I'm
is,
talking. I'm saying-
who's the better duo?
Belichick and,
Well,
and
this is-
Brady,
and
all
I'm
their
also-
games
and I
were
also
tight,
wanted to- I also
except
wanted
for
to
this
answer
one.
this.
That's
Bill-
what I'm saying.
Bill Russell won back-to-back college
Understood.
titles, NCAA championships, an Olympic gold medal, and an NBA title
That's fine.
within
Yeah.
18 months. Tom Brady was the 6th-round pick, so we're talking about comparisons. Now Brady's got to catch up, but he never did.
That gives that duo a leg up
But
in
he
the
never did.
comparison.
But he never did because Tom Brady never ever took over the reins as the head coach for 2 of the titles quite the way that Bill Russell did.
Sure.
I'm done. That's
Yeah.
my only answer.
So, but I'm not worried about who cheated the most because I would think that'd be a fascinating conversation because Belichick.
No. I'm
saying in doubt.
you
Championships in doubt.
Hold on.
meant,
You
like,
said not in doubt.
So
Championship's not in doubt.
What
Red
Kevin,
was
what I'm
create a
saying, what I
monopoly.
was saying was,
Right.
how many times were they afraid they weren't going to win it? How many times were the NBA community thinking they're not the best team? How many times did they get to the finals?
Well,
and
every time
the
you look
odds
over
were
to see
on
Wilt
them?
Chamberlain on the side of the court, you got to go up against that Wilt Chamberlain. So they were able to do what the Patriots have done and outbest what they thought was the best.
Yeah. Well, because
And
the Patriots have been favored before, but until this game, they had never. There was never a game even that they played
well,
in
I'll
that was
just
more
say
than 8
this to you.
points different.
11 titles in Boston with those
Sure.
two.
What
And
titles
the
they're going to win the titles?
And the last two, they said, it would be like Belichick saying, okay, this has been a great run. As Red Auerbach saying, all right, Tom Brady, now I will make you the quarterback coach. Brady specifically said this week, I could never be the coach. He could never be the quarterback. Well, Bill Russell was
Of course.
the GOAT and the coach as he was still the GOAT. And in 68, also won the NBA MVP.
And yet, I still think it's
almost
harder
an
to go to
apples
9
oranges
Super Bowls.
comparison, to be honest with you. It's an unfair comparison.
Maybe, but I think I just made a bunch of points
I
that
think
have to
what
be thought
Belichick
about.
and Brady have done in the modern day football game is
I don't think we'll ever see it
way
again.
tougher than what Auerbach and Russell did back in their day.
Way tougher.
Way tougher.
Wilt Chamberlain was on the other team.
Understood.
He never won. He
I
never
think
won.
making it to the Super Bowl 9 times the way that
Guy
the
scored
Patriots
100
have.
points.
I think that the Patriots making it to 9 Super Bowls in this era is unbelievable to me. I don't think we're ever going to see it again for the rest of our lives.
I do agree that it's unbelievable, but like Matt Ryan doesn't like stick out to me as someone that should have taken it from him. Russell Wilson doesn't stick out as someone that should have taken it from him.
Matt Ryan took it from him?
No, I'm
Put-
just saying.
put him.
No, they beat him.
He's-
They beat
he's-
Russell
he's
in 51 and 49. That's what I'm saying.
I understand. Again, you can boil it down into individual this and individual that. I'm saying 9 Super Bowls in this Super Bowl era of the NFL. To me, I put more stock in that. I think it's.
I think
tougher
Red Auerbach
accomplishment.
invented the NBA and was the original OG, and I think Bill Russell was the absolute ultimate champion who won at every single level, and those two other guys didn't. That's all. I'm not saying you're right and I'm wrong. I'm just saying I got to make the point that Bill Russell, within 18 months of being 18 years old,
I don't think
had
there's a wrong
2
answer.
NCAA titles,
you can-
an NBA Olympic gold medal,
Yeah, I
and
mean,
an NBA championship.
there's definitely
I mean,
some
holy
shine
moly.
to that side of it.
Yeah,
I understand.
there was no underdog thing.
But and
You know,
I'm
Brady
just,
made it an
I
underdog
just
thing, which
can't-
makes it have a little shine on it.
It was a thing that people who hopefully watched it and were able to see the Celtics do what they did there. That I hope they recognized they were seeing something that they were never going to see again. And I think we're seeing something we're never going to see again. And it's crazy to me that they were both Boston teams. That's what kills me.
Yeah, that's the tough part. I'm
like,
gonna
holy
agree
crap.
with you on that. I
That's
didn't want to get into it
unbelievable.
because it is apples and oranges, no doubt. But there's certain things that's so different, and there's so many different things. Like you can't just take 3 white guys under 6'2" and be like, "Who's the best?" And then you got Bill Russell sitting over here like, "I actually played, coach. I've won every level of everything ever, and no one wants to talk about it." And I also didn't take many shots because I was the greatest defender of all time, and I shut Wilt's ass down.
Yep.
Like
He
Tom
did.
Brady never had to play defense. Bill Belichick never had to tackle anybody.
I mean, again, you can point out the
they're
difference
red.
between football and basketball, but I'm just saying.
No,
I
but
think
not, but not so much.
Sure, no, I think I think that what the Patriots have done in making it to the championship game this many times with just
All
those
right,
two.
My final point is
is-
one sentence.
All right,
Red Auerbach, Bill Belichick, and Tom Brady have a grand total vertical jump of 4 inches
combined.
combined.
That's that.
That's my only point.
You might get some people betting on the under on that
That would
one.
be a good. That would be a good over under right there. That's good over under benchmark.
Belichick's lost a couple pounds though. I bet you.
I
he
am
can hold his-
taking
he can hold his
Auerbach
own.
and Russell in the streets of this nation forever. But you know what? The problem is they are all from Boston.
All from Boston.
And yeah.
So, getting to the other side of the equation, the McVay golf, which is not even in the conversation. So, I wanted to just have one part of the show talk about this idea that we've talked about before, which is the idea of quarterbacks on their rookie deals. So, T, I'm going to ask you: do you think that the Rams will keep Jared Goff?
Yes.
I say no.
Why?
I think so. For a variety of reasons. First of all, I think that we live in the era and if you get the right guy, if you get Drew Brees or Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers, okay, you pay the guy. But there's not that many of those guys. There's only a few. I think we live in the era where you can have a team full of talent, like the Rams do. So they have a quarterback on their rookie
Look
deal.
what he did this year.
He
Why
did
would
fine.
you get rid of him?
The idea isn't about getting rid of Jared Goff. The idea is about being able to spend your salary cap at so many other positions. Their defense is loaded with talent. There's a reason why they did what they did, and it's because they're paying guys. On offense, there's a reason why they have the highest paid running back in Todd Gurley, although that's a freaking ridiculous conversation. Whatever the hell is going on there, nobody knows. They have Brandon Cooks. They have a decent offensive line, but they have weapons all around Jared Goff. And Jared Goff, his salary cap hit this year was $7.5 million. Next year it'll be $8.5 million. And it is a legitimate debate. They're looking themselves in the mirror because they actually have young guys coming up who they're gonna have to decide whether or not to keep or not, and whether or not they can do what they can do with another guy at $7 to $10 million a year, or if they need Jared Goff to do it.
Do I get to jump in?
What do you got?
You go first.
No, I already said no.
Jared Goff is 24 years old. He has lit the league on fire with McVay. They have gotten to a certain level. If you don't think that McVay and him think that there's multiple levels they can reach with this partnership, it's nuts to me. And I understand the amount of money that he will command, but
Yes,
the Peters, the Aqib Talibs, the Ndamukong Suhs will be long gone before this decision is made.
Well, next year.
Yes, Gurley and Donald will be part of the long haul, and you have your four cornerstones. There is no chance that a guy that's 24 years old who lit the league up the way he did this year, with the under his belt, this experience that he's got from this Super Bowl, I know he didn't play great, but guess what?
Coach,
He did it.
Come on in, buddy.
He did it. Jared
He did.
Goff
He played well
went through it as a
this
24-year-old. I'm not sure if he played great, but I know this season. I know what he did this season. That I can confirm. And you do not put that time, energy, and effort into a number one draft pick if you're just planning on like trying to turn it over with guys like Peters, Talib, and Sue gone. Of course, you're keeping Gurley, but you know what?
I don't know if they're keeping Gurley.
2 more years. 2 more years.
Yeah,
2 more years.
Are you
say.
saying that Rams
So one
are
or
going to blow
two,
up the whole system?
But you're keeping
No.
Donald.
Rebuild? I
You know
mean,
Donald's there.
you get rid of Goff and Gurley,
you know
you're
you
pretty
got,
much
and you know
that's
you
what
got
you're
Cooks
doing.
out there. Listen, you cannot. It's the most important position in sports, and I know he did not come. And I'm not sold on him, but I am sold on the fact that he's 24 years old. He's got 2 more years, 3 more years on his rookie deal.
2
total with
they-
the option.
with
and
the option.
and that
The next year is the last year of that he's guaranteed.
He is not going anywhere in my mind. I cannot imagine, and I understand, but McVay isn't the egomaniac that thinks he can. He can when he's put into a spot, I imagine, but I think him and Jared Goff have developed a relationship that is legit, that exists. It's not a phony deal, and they went to the Super Bowl this year, man. He's 24. He just saw the bright lights in the big city. He just watched
Jared
the greatest
Goff
of all time.
is not Sexy Rexy.
No,
He's not Sexy Rexy.
Hey, 12 years from now, T, you and I
That's
gonna
the
look
only
at
He's
quarterback.
played
That's the
very
only
well.
quarterback I
He's
can
played at
think
Super
of in
Bowl
recent
level.
time that made it to the Super Bowl that you don't retain. I mean, he's way better than that.
I understand the amount of salary cap. I understand what your point is, and your point is well taken. But with this guy, with this coach, in 12 years from now, we're going to sit there at the end of his career and say, "Hey, you guys remember Goff and Brady dueled it out in Super Bowl 53? It was so boring, but." Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And we're going to be like, holy crap, that was Goff and Brady.
Yeah, yeah.
So the
and
salary
Goff
cap's
is
gonna
going to
go
be
up.
the reason why it's nuts.
We're gonna get to the work stoppage and something's gonna get and it'll get stupid and the CBA reset and the salary cap reset.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a couple of things going on in the next couple of years that are gonna have a big say in what the Rams do with their quarterback position. I just think that there is some serious consideration on the Rams' part
I now get it.
to go with a rookie deal.
He wants Goff.
He's like,
No, I don't want Goff.
Yeah,
No.
that-
I want a quarterback on a rookie
why else
contract.
would we be talking about this on a Redskins show?
Because good question,
Of
T.
whom we haven't talked about
I guess.
it all yet.
Thanks for reading the six pack, by the way. The reason is because the Redskins are going to be the Redskins are dead
That's what I'm understanding
set
about all this.
in needing
But don't
a quarterback
superimpose your
on a
Redskins
rookie
stuff
contract.
on Goff and McVay because you've been throwing darts at.
Oh, so
Goff.
in short, I'm not. I don't think I'm not saying Sean's an ego guy, Kevin, but I do think guys in his position think they're smart enough and good enough as a coach to coach them
they
up.
are.
Because they are. And
But
so
they also know that if you go hand in hand with a 24-year-old who took to
They're
the Super
good
Bowl,
enough.
No.
And
God
gosh darn
darn
it,
it.
Ken likes them.
God, he does.
I think the coaches in this league, and I'm amazed by it all the time when I hear, because you hear it, and we heard it when we interviewed McLovin, and then we had him on the line. We heard the other side of it. The other side of it is front office personnel guys who think it's not the coach. I pick the players. I get the right
How
guys
many
in.
24-year-old performers in the Super Bowl with stats like Goff had this regular season just get
Kevin,
left out?
I understand.
Left out on the lawn.
My argument isn't.
No. I'm not saying. I'm saying how many
How many? What's your question?
have had this amount of stats, success, and wins as a 24-year-old with the coach together that they came and he resurrected his career.
And then didn't win the Super Bowl?
And went to a Super Bowl with 13 wins in a regular season, and that amount of stats that got left like there was a yard sale.
That wasn't a fluke.
It doesn't happen.
That wasn't.
Okay,
That doesn't happen. I don't think that's ever happened.
All I'm saying is we are in an era now where big decisions, business
we
decisions
are burgundy and gold.
made. No,
but
well,
the Rams,
no.
The Rams can cut right now. Peters, Talib, and Sue.
So how do you bring this full circle to a
this
Redskins
shit out?
discussion?
Well, first of all, I just disagree that there's not a philosophy out there in the NFL where front offices are looking at this issue,
but not with first-round picks who are 24 who have been to the Super Bowl.
I actually think
and
he has
won
value
13
as a trade
games.
option. I think that he can net them back, but that's a different story.
24 years old, 13 wins, Super Bowl appearance. You build on that, right? We've always talked about continuity. You would think that McVay and him are connected at the hip for at least another year.
And yet
You've
there's
already
already
gotten to the pinnacle game.
There's
You've
already a
gotten
style
to
of
the-
thinking in
Right,
this
they're
league.
pretty
You've
confident.
already gotten there. Now you just got a little bit more to go. You don't go.
And his
you know,
arm
let me-
strength
let me
is
go-
ridiculous.
Let me go find someone else.
all
He's
about
going to
that.
get better.
We can
and
talk about
better
Jared
and
Goff
better.
all day long. All I'm saying is, and I don't think that it's untrue, is that there's a theory in the NFL now that says if you're going to put $25+ million a year of your salary cap into one guy, it is a hell of a
Right.
risk.
I know.
I see what you're saying.
And you're only going to make
I
that
agree.
on
Trying to
certain
make this-
guys.
I agree.
You're
And
trying to
I'm
make
not
this-
saying
I'm
Jared
with you.
Goff
Trying
is
to make
one of
this
those guys.
blanket across the NFL. I agree with that, except for one caveat.
Okay.
Unless your rookie takes you to a Super Bowl.
He's not anyone's rookie.
On a rookie contract.
Oh, sure.
Super
Okay.
Bowl.
Sure. No. A rookie.
That's my
Unless
point.
he takes you to a Super Bowl.
Rookie contract.
Other than that,
rookie
yes, it is
contract Super
totally
Bowl.
up for debate.
They've all gotten re-signed.
I don't think Jared Goff took the Rams to
Matt
a Super Bowl.
Ryan, Russell Wilson.
That's what I don't think Jared Goff took the Rams to the Super Bowl, is what I'm saying.
Well, then
Sorry.
who did?
I think
McVay.
Sean McVay and that
His-
defense took him to the
his-
Super Bowl.
his
And Todd
sweetheart-
Gurley with 21 touchdowns.
Sean McVay can't throw the ball 35 yards.
right, fair.
That's what I'm telling you right now. And if
Listen,
I crack back on Sean
I-
McVay, he's not waking up until Thursday.
Okay.
Okay.
That's not to say that this is not a very real thing in the NFL, and I'm just trying to
it
tell
is.
you
I see
guys.
what this is
Just
now.
not with
I
a
see what this is now.
24-year-old
What is this? What is this?
quarterback who went to a Super Bowl.
This is his way to just fawn over McVay once again without being
No!
too obvious
There's
about
so
it.
many
No.
weird things. Listen,
I don't.
Dude,
I've been
there's
watching
a-
True
there's a
Detective.
You
McVay-
guys, I can't believe you
There's a
guys
little
love
stick
Jared
doll
Goff as
out
much
There
as
are
outside.
you do.
pictures of McVay down here somewhere.
I
I'm
don't
gonna
think.
tell you this.
I don't think people are
Sticking
universally
together.
sold as Jared Goff as you guys
Take
are.
Jared Goff's face out of the equation. Put a
Yep.
24-year-old first-round draft choice, first pick of the draft, who won 13 games this year and went to a Super Bowl, and with a coach who resurrected
How old was
his
Colin
career.
Kaepernick when he took the 49ers?
Do
to
you
the
think
Super
that
Bowl?
relationships don't exist?
By
Hold
the
on,
way.
hold on. He
Okay.
resurrected his career. They have built this together.
Who resurrected his career?
Sean McVay
Okay.
resurrected Jared Goff's bustiness.
He had one
after Jeff
mediocre
Fisher
year.
and Gurley, which you've admitted to.
Gurley had 21 touchdowns this year. He was the best player in the league.
Oh no, Gurley was the
Besides
worst player in the
quarterback.
postseason.
Well, he was a terrible playoff
Yeah,
guy. But we're
but
talking
he
about
wasn't
who
hurt
got the
either.
Rams there. I'm saying Gurley got him there this season. Gurley was their engine this season.
So all of a sudden, the most important position in sports doesn't matter.
I thought
Yeah,
I got Gurley ahead of. I mean, as far as we're talking about the Rams, who did play in the Super Bowl, so that's
I
relevant.
watched him play against the
I-
Saints, and it was one of the most lights-out regular season performances I've seen a quarterback throwing the ball. His talent is obsessive.
Goff has played well, Kevin. He had great games.
So you
this
don't let a
season.
guy like that sit outside. Like just because it's in the yard doesn't mean it's for sale.
I
Come
don't.
on,
I
dude.
don't look. I appreciate the way that you view the prism through which you view that. To me, I'm looking at a lot of eggs in one basket, and I love.
You're looking at it as a Redskin fan.
No. I love all the talent that the Rams have. I love it, and I would love to see a team go all in
make
on.
a whole new captain at the position.
No.
The
No.
one thing that's not making sense to me,
Okay.
and maybe I'm not thinking this through completely, is you were so in the tank for keeping Cousins.
Yes, I was.
and yet.
If you find your guy, if you find your guy,
you want to cut ties with Goff, a guy that takes you to
at 24.
All right, if he didn't take it, he was along for the fucking ride and was a huge contributor in the whole trip.
Yeah, you're so Goff with this, man.
What 2-on-1 is a tough way to play. But I will say that I'm not sold on Jared Goff.
Those odds.
I don't think Jared Goff is some amazing player.
Absurd idea.
But he's 24. He just went up against the godfather of defense, and he hung in there, and he fought, and he won his team 13 games. He got his team to the Super Bowl. They're out in L.A. He's with McVay. They've done this together. Jeff Fisher was gone.
Yep.
He's here.
That's right.
And all of a sudden, you want to keep the other guys, not him. So who do you bring in that does better than Goff?
I don't think that there's many teams.
I
like the idea.
It doesn't matter because McVay is going to.
It's not about because he's going to. I think it's because McVay believes he can.
He's going to
But there are not many teams who are set up in this league to go in on their talent the way that the Rams are. There's not that many teams in the league that have that amount of talent on their roster to make the play and make the argument for skipping on at quarterback. The Redskins aren't that team. And the Redskins weren't that team when they had a chance for Kirk Cousins. When they had Kirk Cousins in hand, he was the best thing that they could have gotten. He was the best thing they could have kept. And by the way, the whole part of this thing that's ironic to me is this is not the Redskins' way of doing business because of the Kirk Cousins. Instead of paying bottom dollar for starting quarterback, we've only paid top dollar. And I said it every single time it came up for debate. No, the Redskins aren't in the position to be paying the highest paid player in the league.
Can I ask you this?
Ask me this.
Faceless.
Why? Who's face?
Just all
I don't care about faces.
I know you don't.
What's faces?
That's why you're so mad at
Unless
McVay
it's
for
McVay.
liking Goff.
Unless
Here's
it's
the deal.
McVay's.
Unless it's
If the Redskins had a 24-year-old quarterback who won 13 games and had the stats that Goff had this year and took us to the Super Bowl.
You just died in your arms tonight.
You would have
never
every
ever
jersey
say this.
of his.
I know. You would never say
in
anything
every
close
combination
to
of
this. You have
color.
allowed the salary cap
You'd
and the numbers
rename your
to creep
son's
into the
name
football
to whatever
field.
name that guy is.
This is not like you. And
there's
T and
no
I are
way
both
you would get rid of
recognizing
him.
this. This comes from Daniel Snyder. We know that.
I would not fall in love with a Jared Goff type guy. No, I would not. I'm not a Jared Goff guy. I'm sorry.
Has a 24-year-old
Period.
ever taken the Redskins to the
Let's
Super
stop
Bowl?
with him being 24 that you're so in love with.
Because it's amazing. Because he's going to get better and better.
Like you keep
hold
saying
on.
he's 24
When Kirk
years
Cousins was
old.
29, when Kirk
24.
Cousins was 29, you were like,
24.
he's going to get better
If only he was
and better.
24.
Pay him what he wants.
Guess what?
Pay him what he
Guess
wants.
what? You're talking about 5 years of difference
I
of
understand.
ability to obtain knowledge and skill in this ridiculous league.
I understand.
Yeah, but why would you be 29-year-old optimistic about Kirk
I don't
getting
think
better
I'm getting rid of Drew
and
Brees when I
not
let Jared Goff go.
24-year-old
Or Aaron Rodgers.
You were willing
or
to pay
Tom
a guy
Brady. Or Kirk
whatever
Cousins.
he wanted.
You've allowed the
who's never
salary
won
cap
who has
to take
never
you to
won a
this
playoff
place.
game.
And T and I are
You were
not
ready
going to
to
let it
pay
happen.
a guy whatever you wanted who had never won a playoff game and cut a guy who just
I
took-
just told you, T.
Just went
The
with his team
Redskins and the Rams
to the Super
rosters
Bowl.
are set up completely differently. The Rams have an amazing amount of talent that they're going to lose if they put $25+ million at quarterback. And Kevin, I will grant you,
No, they're not.
most teams in the league
they're not.
are. Yes, they are.
Look at their one-year deals. They got more than we had last year. They're across
understand.
the board. They're 2-year deals. They're money. They can cut loose whatever the hell they want.
And they don't have to worry about next year, anyways. Next year, Goff's only making $8 million, so it's not even an
they're
issue
set
next
up.
season.
They're set up perfectly.
So it's fine.
So the Goff leaving thing is like 2 years down the road because. But how do you ever think about that?
Because that's what I think.
What
about.
if he goes back?
roster
Okay,
building,
okay, okay,
organization
I am
building.
shocked.
What if
I'm
he
shocked
goes?
by
What,
this.
what what if he doesn't take the Rams, but is along with the Rams ride to the Super Bowl again next year and they win it? Do you still say, "Hey, buddy, you had a great 2-year run"?
I'm
but
I'm
you're outta
promoting
here."
all
Or you
of
go to free agent Nick Foles from last year, who's going to get 20-some million also.
I get
You're
it, you
gonna pay
guys.
somebody
You're
else a
going
They're all
getting
to pay
20-some
Jared Goff
million.
what
To
he
do
what
what
he
you
wants.
just did.
Understood. All I'm saying is, if you have a roster full of talent, like I believe that the Rams do, it's an interesting choice to make. Because I do think
it's the most important position on the team and in sports. So how do you replace the guy with who?
I'm not, because I don't think Jared Goff is the guy. And we're going to argue about that, I'm sure. But I don't think
I'm not
he's the guy.
saying he's the next coming of the.
That's my answer to you. How do you replace the guy? Jared Goff is not
But
the guy.
I want
in
to
my
ask you
opinion.
this: how many 24-year-old cats got 13 wins and have those stats and play the way he did? I've seen him spin it. And Ken,
I
it's
know.
been nothing but
He's-
impressive.
at times.
Is he the greatest? Yeah, but he's got time to learn, and he
At
just
times.
did. He just went up against the GOAT in a
Good.
Super
I
Bowl.
hope he learned something.
The defensive GOAT
Yeah.
in a Super Bowl. And if you don't get that on your resume, if that doesn't count on your resume, then that's insane.
You're talking again. We can focus all day long on every second of Jared Goff's personal whatever he's done. I'm talking about you have a guy that's being
I
paid
thought
$8 million
experience and continuity was always our
on your
number one
roster
thing.
that allows you to invest your money all around at other places. And I think that the Rams, the
I
reason
know.
why the Rams win
I'd
Super
love
Bowl
the most
is not because
unbelievable
of Jared
house.
Goff.
I'd love the most amazing house in Kensington, but I'm gonna need a kitchen.
I'm not
so
a Jared Goff
if
guy.
we can get this whole place, and I don't have a fridge or oven
Kevin's
or
a
stove
Jared
or
Goff guy.
microwave.
Ken is not. I don't know how many other ways we can.
Oh
say
no
this.
no!
Just saying.
That has nothing to do with it.
No, that's. I'm just saying. We can keep. You keep coming back, and I don't think I don't have. I'm not going to keep restating my argument that if I'm a general manager in this day and age,
You're
I'm
not going to
giving a
convince
serious
him,
look.
and you're not going to convince
Yeah.
him. So I mean,
That's all I'm
What
saying.
about you? Who's going to convince you?
I'm totally on board with what you
I
said.
know. So say you too.
So it's 2-1 as far as I'm
You
concerned.
can't just take a 24-year-old rifle arm first round
24.
pick
Odds
who
are
played in
we're
a Super
probably
Bowl,
right.
won 13
We're
games,
certainly
Against the
won
GOAT.
an NFC championship, and all of a sudden be like, we should trade him for picks.
or just let him go.
Yeah, good luck. Good luck finding a guy that has his production.
Get a compensatory pick.
You're a
when he
Redskin
leaves.
fan. A compensatory. Oh my God.
It's gonna be great.
Oh my
It's going
God.
to be great.
Oh
When he
my
leaves,
God.
He's gonna get him
Oh
a
my
compensatory
God. How
pick.
about Giselle comes over and watches me pick my nose and I eat it? Like, that's insane. Like, what are
Two
we
words.
talking about? Jesus
compensatory pick. I love it.
Christ. Oh my God.
Yes.
These words and definitions are so.
McVay be like, you know what? Draft me a quarterback with that third round pick. Guess what? I'll take you to
Are
another.
people
I'll take you to
listening
another Super
this?
Bowl.
Like, is anyone angry? I'm sorry. Here's the deal. No, I got nothing. Just Jared Goff. I kind of like him. You kind of don't, and you're acting like I love him, but
You kind of do.
You know how many 24-year-olds have ever played in a Super Bowl and
about
won an
24-year-olds.
NFC championship?
He's gonna have to be
well,
24.
I'm sorry, Ken, but
He's
that's
not going to be
important.
24 forever, Kevin. I'm
And guess
sorry to
what?
break
He's
it to you.
also
Let's find out when his birthday is.
he's
When
the
is he not gonna
quarterback
be
that won the
24?
NFC Championship this year. You've never had a 24-year-old win an NFC Championship for a team you were for.
He's
in the
freshly
history of your
24.
life.
He just turned 24 in
Yeah.
October.
And you know how much better he's going to get? As last year, you're like, Kirk Cousins is going to get better and better and better until his 30s. Now you're saying Jared Goff's not getting better at 24? Bite your tongue, Ken.
Nope.
Stop reading Spot Track and all the numbers. Put your abacus away and watch a rifle arm first round pick play the most important position in sports for a coach that he's attached to at the hip who resurrected his
We'll see.
career.
We shall
It's not
see.
about.
Well, you're right. We shall see.
We'll see.
You do long
Let's move
division.
on
I'm
from
going to
this
watch him throw it.
discussion.
What's that?
This discussion has been beaten.
I feel like it has.
It's over.
But he might have.
Oh, it's so gross.
He's going to be 24 for another 10 months, so I feel like we're going to be probably hearing about that for a while.
So your boyfriend can't teach your 24-year-old anti-boyfriend how to play the
wanna
position
get-
properly?
Let's get.
I
All right. So
know.
how are we?
Listen,
How
that's why
are
you
we
wear
getting
those
out of
booty
here? How are we
shorts.
going to get out of this? We got to get out of this because
I don't know, man. But like, don't say Drew Lock or
Your
some
boyfriend
shit. Like,
versus
God
your
damn it.
anti-boyfriend.
No, my joke was not.
Drew
to
Lock
say
hasn't
Drew
gone to
Lock.
any playoff games or Super
Was he
Bowls.
24?
Is Drew Lock
apparently
24?
you hate attractive 24-year-old
Daniel
males
Jones 24?
who date Sean McVay, is what I've understood from this
Yes.
conversation.
Yes.
All Super Bowl
I
attendees.
like it. I like it.
There
I
it
like
is.
Foghorn.
No,
you
no,
can-
show
you can
that
cross
to the people.
You don't have to hide it.
Yeah, no, it's blue. It's you. Get used to it.
All right.
Sorry
I guess
about your boyfriend.
I'm just
Darren got his blue drank on.
From here on out, guys, it's tough sledding. We got no
All
games
The
Games
left
off-season
till
grind, man. It's the
Hall of
off-season
Fame
grind.
game is the first snap away. Free agency starts, I think they said mid-March, and the draft is the end of April. So get ready for the dry
That's gonna be a
dry
long-
period.
It's gonna be a long haul to the draft, and then it's gonna feel like another long haul until from the draft until preseason. But that actually goes quicker than you think.
Preseason will go fast,
I'm going to tell you
especially
this.
given what we'll have to be watching.
I know that we always have Steve Schaub on this time of year, and I've never reached in earlier. Fan Speak, we're having them. I know it. Fan Speak
Got to.
Simulator.
Schaub.
Fanspeak.com
Schaub.
Simulator. Get in there. Tell me how guilty it makes you feel, and like all of a sudden it's like 20 different players at this point. Try it because it's fun for these conversations. Talking about the first round, it is fun. I've been doing it probably 2-3 times a day Wait, we still talking about?
I still have full confidence
saying.
in Daniel Snyder and Bruce Allen creating some fucking debacle for us to talk about as well. Doing something stupid.
Like
It's going to happen.
Never mind. I'm not going to cross reference.
There will be plenty to talk about. Put it that way.
There will. It's just fun to look at it, and then for everyone to guess. Of course I want a badass receiver. Of course I want a badass quarterback, badass edge rusher, badass corner, badass safety. I think we need a tight end. Like,
I love the Hakeem Butler post today by Gavilan55. I love him. I don't know if we're going to...
Hakeem Butler has been in the second to first, to the seventh to out, to everything in between, and it's amazing to see how these things transpire. Darius Geis. Gosh, we followed him around. We thought he was first. We thought it was last. We thought it was TMZ. We thought he was done. Then he was ours. And that was the one of few times it worked out for the good guys.
What we know from the current makeup of these Redskins is that anybody's on the board for the Redskins to take.
And T, I agree with that. I used to be like, well, if we fit this slot into this slot. Well, when you have 25 guys and 24 guys in back-to-back years, you just want good players that could probably withstand a bad winter.
I just want to give you guys some names. Dale Beck, P.E. Conrad, Gavilan55, Gabe Ward, Aaron Lesher. Appreciate you guys. Check out the draft profiles. Hakeem Butler was this week. We had Nazir Adderley. We got
from Delaware. That's what Hogs Haven did the best.
Oli Udo. Listen,
I didn't mean to shout out
Drew Lock.
I love the Hogs Haven draft profiles more than anyone has for 3 years. I'd like you to tell me that you love it more because I followed each and every single one of them, and it's amazing.
Jimmy Moreland.
When you got to reference it, you go back. It could be 2 months ago, a month ago, it might be a week ago, and sometimes it's yesterday, the guy you're looking at. And all of a sudden, it's on Hogs Haven.
Durst.
And it's money, and I love it. But I want Nasir Adderley. I know he's been up, but I want him done again because that is a very serious. He could be second, third, or fourth round. Well, we're not fourth. Second, third, or third for us.
I think
second, third, or third. He could be one of our 2/3 or our second. Anywhere in between in the mix, and he could be a badass son of a bitch. He went nuts at the Senior Bowl.
Yep.
If we could get him with our
he's a player.
Third round, I know stuff like that is what I want to know because I don't. Right now, what it is nothing like it's going to be. We all know that. It's fun to watch these guys go up, down, and all around, but I just like drafting them.
I'm not trying to draft Kyler Murray. I'm going to be on the not Kyler Murray train.
I have no problem with Kyler Murray.
I just don't think we're the right team for him.
I'm starting to feel more convinced that he's doing this in order to boost his stock in baseball.
And if he gets drafted by the Redskins, I'm worried that he'll be like,
That's a very serious Boris situation. So we need to get Boris into the mix with the learners and make sure that no one's trying to, offend anyone. Aside from that, which is impossible to aside from that, 5'9", 180 pounds. And I just feel like he's got something in him that could, on a rookie contract, give us some magic, some juice. But here's the problem. I understand you have to build your offense around him. They don't make guys like him.
I think it's the same reason that Charlie Ward. It's the same reason that Charlie Ward.
Yeah, but he's way more dynamic than Russell Wilson is the comp.
Why you don't choose football is because you have guaranteed contracts in baseball. You can play a lot longer, right? There may not be a guarantee that he's a major leaguer from day one or not, but at the same time, this toying with football right now, I think, has more to do with boosting his stock as a baseball player and a commodity that Boris wants people to invest in on the baseball side, not on the football side. But we'll see. If he goes football, I think it's for the passion of the game more than it is.
Hopefully, whoever drafts him, he plays for him. That's my biggest concern. Someone's going to draft him and he's not going to play for him and ruin someone's year.
His Dan Patrick interview, everyone was poo-pooing. I thought it was amazing.
Sure, it was fine.
He didn't want to cough up any info.
No.
And he didn't mind staring Dan Patrick, one of the greats of what he's done in the history of what's been done. He looked him dead in the eye and just didn't answer. He wasn't disrespectful. He just didn't cough up the goods. I loved it. I thought it was ballsy. I thought it was ballsy.
I liked it.
People were like, "Oh, he didn't ace this." Well, you're an idiot. Sorry, you're not supposed to kiss everyone's ass. I know he's 5'9". I know he's 180 pounds. I know it's crazy. But something about him might be, what's her name? in Peter Pan?
He's not Tinkerbell.
Tinkerbell?
The fairy that sprinkles all the
Nope.
magic dust on.
Nope.
He could be. He could get us to 9-7. He could. It could be 10-6. He doesn't take hits. His arm is dynamic. He's
We'll see.
freak athlete, and he could be playing for the Oakland A's, like T said. I don't want to get into
Worried
that.
about
I don't
that.
know. When Scott Boras is your agent, you're from a different planet.
We won't be here next Tuesday night because we're going to be at St. John's, calling the St. John's DeMatha boys basketball game. This threesome right here. We will be live on the air calling a great high school basketball game. Number 5 team in the country, DeMatha Stags. And Kevin Ricka's old gym at St. John's in, what are we going to call
my
that?
old gym. I just happen
Military
to be a part
Road.
of Gallagher Gymnasium. He coached 46 years in the National Basketball Hall of Fame. That's his old gym.
That's his old gym. We'll call it his old gym. Yeah. Check us out. Subscribe. First Amendment Sports, please. We appreciate it. And come back and join us in a few minutes on the Hot Box. I'll be joined by Kevin and Darren McClinton. Talk about the hardwood hustle of the week. Got some new gear. It's gonna be awesome. And also we'll be joined by Coach Scribner. If you're don't want to wait until next Tuesday to see us, check First Amendment Sports out on Saturday afternoon, 2 p.m. in the afternoon. Also at St. John's, where we'll be covering 2 of the top high school girls teams in the country, in the top 3 teams of the country, in a rematch which we covered the first leg of a week and a half ago. Bishop McNamara, St. John's, 2 p.m.
You'd be hard pressed to find a better high school girls basketball.
No, it's
game
as
in
good
the
as it gets, and
country
it was round 2.
before or after Saturday.
Round
And
2.
friend of the show, John
Must
Scribner, neighbor of mine and friend of all of ours, will be hanging out. He's hanging out with us right now. He's going to hang out with us more in a couple minutes on the Hot Box. Until 2 weeks from now, when you see us next here in the basement, he's Tim Strachan.
Yes, I am. Listen, I'm looking forward to spending these grueling weeks with you guys and,
Yes.
making the best that we can out of this Redskins situation, as we always do.
He's Kevin Ricka.
I'm sorry about you, Goff and McVay. I apologize if I.
It's not about Goff and
struck a
McVay.
nerve.
No, I'm not. I'm not want to argue
Well, I
on
was
the
kidding.
player.
I
I'm
was
arguing on
kidding.
the
I was
philosophy.
kidding. I know you are.
I believe in that. I believe if you and it's only if you get you can only grade it if you get it. But if a quarterback can play for you on a rookie deal, you have a major advantage in this day and age.
Yeah, but coughing them up after.
If you're
teaching
even
them.
spending the rest of the money on the right way, I mean that's another part of the Redskins' problem. They could save $15 million
Would
on a quarterback all
Yoda
day.
cut Luke Skywalker? Because that's the McVay Goff situation right now.
No, it's
Figure it
not.
out.
No, it's
That's
not.
exactly what's going down.
You don't know your Star Wars.
There's-
Oh, that's
Yeah,
first of all,
yeah.
forget about football. You just effed up
Listen,
Star
listen,
Wars.
Listen, forget about Star
McVay's
Wars.
not. McVay might. If McVay's Yoda, fine, we can make that argument. But there's no way Jared Goff is Luke Skywalker. Oh my God, I can't believe you just said that.
So now you're getting off on the Star Wars portion
Yes.
of the events.
Yes,
But you're
that's where
cutting-
you went
but
messed
you're-
up.
But you're cutting an
we're-
NFC Championship
and we're
winning,
gonna stop it
13
right
game
there.
win,
Yes.
Super Bowl
And-
quarterback,
24 years old.
and then just getting rid of him, but
And we're-
keeping
and
who?
we're gonna stop it right
and
there.
hold on.
Don't forget.
Hold
No,
on.
no, no,
Hold
no.
on,
We
hold on,
already
real
we
quick.
already said it.
Finally. I just want to
Finally.
know who you're bringing in. Like the next senior. Like, you don't even know. You just know that Goff's gone because of finance.
No, I'm not saying Goff's gone because
you have
of
a
finances.
replacement for
I'm
Goff?
saying the Rams have a
Do you
leg
have a
up.
replacement for Goff?
Kevin, stop. All I'm saying is the Rams have an advantage right now, the same way, for example, the Chiefs
Stop.
do.
Ken,
done.
I understand
You're
how
almost
And I'm not
numbers
saying the
work.
Chiefs aren't going to
I
sign
understand how
Mahomes.
math works. This
Well,
is
you're
so
acting like,
depressing.
but
sorry
you're
if
acting
you're
like
still
you
listening.
don't.
The guy went to the Super Bowl, bro, 113, and dropped dimes all
right,
season.
okay, fair
And you just want to put him in the front yard with like a "he's rusty" sign. Yeah, well, guess what?
You guys both know I'm a backyard kind of guy.
Hey, guess
I
what?
don't do
That's
front
never
yard.
happened to anyone else in the history of the league. So defend yourself on that.
You
How
defend
many
yourself.
24-year-old guys
He's
have
not
been
Luke
kicked out to the
Skywalker.
curb?
Luke Skywalker.
No, stop doing the Skywalker thing.
That's what you
Do
did.
How about the NFL thing? No 24-year-old quarterback who's been a first-round draft choice, who has taken his team to an NFC championship and 13 wins,
Not
has
a
been
golf
kicked
guy.
to the curb. Name one.
Not a golf guy.
I know. Well, that's your
Not a golf
problem,
guy.
not football's.
No, it's not my problem.
Or Star
that's
Wars.
my argument. I'm sitting right here telling you without any qualm whatsoever.
And what you're doing is,
that
oh my
I'm
God, I
not
think
a
golf shouldn't
golf
be there
guy.
anymore. I have not looked at his stats or
How
the
do you
relationships.
replace the guy? By
when did Ken become
he's
a
not
robot?
the guy. Apparently, I'm a robot now.
Because all he's doing is looking at numbers, not performance. Because if you looked at performance,
Nope.
It's never happened for the Redskins in the
You
history of
can't-
the
you can't
franchise.
make my argument for
what
me.
Goff has
I love
done.
how you make your argument and then you make
Here's
my
what
argument
I'm making.
for me.
You're a diehard Redskin fan, so am I.
That
What
way
Goff
he
has
never
done
loses.
at this age,
never loses.
what Goff has done, what Goff has done at this age has never happened in the history of the Washington Redskins. I'm sorry, but it hasn't. And you still want to cut him, which means that you want to cut every quarterback that ever does good for us forever for the same thing. That drives me nuts.
Must be what I'm saying.
Well, how can
must
it
be
not
what
be?
I'm saying. Dude, only first of all, only the Sith think in absolutes. By the way, Mr. Star Wars guy. This is not a
I never
conversation.
said I was Mr. Star Wars
about
guy. I don't want to be Mr.
absolutes.
Star Wars guy.
This is
I don't. McVay's the
little.
little guy. Yoda's the little guy. Luke is the good guy. Golf went to the Super Bowl, and you want to treat him like
you know what? I thought you struck a chord earlier, but when you frickin' brought up the Star
I
Wars
know.
shit,
And that's his only point on the
he's
way
like
back.
totally shut down. He's like,
Because how about this?
Luke
My final statement is
Skywalker.
no Redskin quarterback at age 24 has ever won 13 games or gone to a Super
I have
Bowl.
to think who Golf is.
And now you're cutting him because of financial numbers.
Maybe Admiral Akbar. Oh, he could be. I don't know if he's
Numbers.
an Admiral Akbar guy. Maybe.
numbers.
I think we need to move on. And
Numbers.
Well, we
actually
were on
wrap
our
up
our
the show.
exit.
No, yeah, we need to
numbers.
say
All of a sudden,
goodbye.
Jared Goff is the bad guy
We need to
because
say
Sean
goodbye.
McVay is so pretty.
I wonder. I just hope
I don't
that one
get it.
day you make your opinion known about stuff, so people can know what you
But
think
I don't
about
understand this. Like, I can't.
my God.
There's nothing that makes me understand it besides the
Make it
salary cap,
stop.
which makes me so angry. The salary cap
All
makes
right,
you so
tune in
twisted.
Saturday.
Charlie
Tuesday.
Casserly, please help us. Charlie
Saturday,
Casserly.
Tuesday, tune in.
I would like to
high
ask
school
someone like Charlie Casserly,
hoops. We'll be back in a week and a half.
but no one else
2
wants
weeks.
to.
2 weeks in the basement.
Nobody
2
wants
weeks
to
in the
fire
basement
golf
on
after
February
yesterday
19th.
but you.
It's been real.
What's it called?
Get him a golf jersey
Thanks a lot.
immediately. Make
Get
it
him a golf jersey.
make it number
dude.
24.
You're nuts, dude.
Still live.
Bye.
There's like 6 quarterbacks that are good ever.
This
and he's like
was
6th.
The Audible.
What? Like, I don't even know what we're talking about.
Still live. Still live. Still live.
Please hit stop. Please hit stop.